there about different things. I did a little bit of digging into Marvel for a short period of time. It's cool stuff. I mean, I see why, I see the draw for collectors, especially because comic books do have like this long history as well, and it makes sense that there's a link between the comic book mindset and kind of Marvel cards mindset. It makes sense. I understand why people are in that. I don't feel like I know it well enough to engage in that space too much, because I just don't know enough, but I think it's an interesting space. I think I see reason why people enjoy that space.
Yeah, see, I'm concerned with a lot of that stuff just because a lot of the stuff that people are buying are like from the junk wax era. Like, and also when they come out with these weird sets, it I might be wrong, but it may be to let you know what eras of when cars were like super big and a bunch of people were buying into stuff. So like the 1990s Marvel set, it's interesting, they came out in 1990 and like just kind of started the junk wax era. I mean, I saw like Mortal Kombat cards, like all kinds of.
I didn't see that one. I wonder though, because back in 1990 when people first started collecting Marvel, were people like sports card collectors were collecting them and putting them into the the top loaders, and they were starting to be careful because they know back in the 1950s 60s people weren't careful with their cards at all. It wasn't thought of as a value thing. I kind of wonder if when Marvel first came out, if it was more like, even though it was overproduced like crazy, how many people actually like kept good quality care of their stuff. I don't know if that was in the Marvel kind of collecting mindset at that point. Yeah, I don't know enough to really say much. I'm just curious.
Someone that you should probably listen to is Reserve Investments. They talk about collectibles in general. They've been in the collectibles and antiques trade for the last since they were 12, and they're like 43 or something like that. Yeah, they're pretty knowledgeable. They know a lot of distributors, and they said that they knew people throughout the years who had like boxes, unopened boxes full of them. And apparently there are a lot of people for, let's say, 1990s Marvel that didn't even send in their boxes to PSA or a grading company yet. So they're kind of waiting and see. He said that doesn't mean that there won't be a few cards that may have like a lot of value in a sense. But the way he's made it seem more like 4-figure type value at the most. But apparently there's a lot of that stuff out there. It's the same with graded video games. I kind of looked into that market. I've like bought stuff and graded it. There's a lot more stuff out there than most people know for stuff like that.
I could see how, like I could see there being it being a niche collector. I don't ever see it being something that's going to be like this massive, like, from an investment standpoint, I don't see it as a massive thing. But from a collector standpoint, for people who are just interested or have that need, a desire for some, it seems like, from a collector standpoint, I could see why, somebody would be drawn to get that, that video game that they remember from their childhood, those Marvel cards characters that were meaningful. I mean, I remember I used to set my alarm to wake up early on Saturday mornings to watch X-Men when I was growing up. It's just so much fun. So I don't have any X-Men cards, but I could totally see how having a handful of them just for myself, for the collector's aspect of that kind of connecting with memory, I could see how that could be something special. But from a more investment angle, it's hard for me to see like how that could become like this massive thing. I think it's more of like a niche or like, people, for nostalgia hunters kind of thing.
Yeah. I wonder like how much some of this stuff is kind of just straight up